Filipino micro cheating. What is a Filipino micro cheating? Tell me a little
So
bit more.
micro cheating is like, even though if I have a girlfriend and I have a girlfriend, but you're talking to another guy like through chats, that's already a sign of micro cheating.
Okay, right.
So because you're going to develop uh, things with that person.
Yeah.
You're listening to Planet Neighbors, a podcast that explores what life is really like for ordinary people around the world. I'm your host, Cyriac, and together we'll step beyond the headlines to hear everyday stories that connect us all on this one shared planet.
Welcome to the first session of What's Life Like in. And then we go to every part of the world and we talk to the average person in that country and try to figure out what's life like, like where do they eat, where do they sleep, where do they live, how do they commute, what do they study, what are their desires, ambitions, and hopes, and like really try and get into understanding what life is like. And sometimes we cover politics also. And the reason we do that in the show is because, when we hear stories about a certain country, we typically hear like some terrible things happened over there. And and that's always from the view of a journalist or someone, and they're always covering the negative news. And I think we're trying to do a counter narrative here of like talking to people and just talk about what is life like, just as an average. So here today we have Maynard, and Maynard Taldio, and he is located in Dao. He's an engineering student. He's 23 years old, and
Yeah.
he lives with his family of four in a house, very average, simple house. And his mom, of course, works in the Middle East as a pharmacist. And so between him, his brother, and his mom, they're kind of supporting his family. So Maynard, you were talking about food. That food is about $1 for a nice meal in a
Yeah.
carinderia,
Yeah.
um, and then commuting. You don't have a car or a bike, but the
Yeah.
public transport is great in Philippines. Day or
Yeah.
night, there is a jeepney going, which is kind of a big jeep, and it travels all routes. And so Maynard is able to get wherever he wants to very easily. So Maynard, you were talking about life in Philippines, right? And like
Yeah.
how hard or easy it is. So tell us a little more. I know we missed a lot, but go ahead. Yeah.
For us, for the jeepney also, it takes us around 1 hour from house to the city.
Because
It's
it
just
stops at different places.
not really. It doesn't stop in the. I mean, it stops if there's people
Yeah.
going in and going out in the jeepney.
Yeah.
But the main reason is the traffic also. That's the main cause here. Like a lot of people, a lot of students right now is more like a car guy right now. Like they want a car even though they're still 17 years old.
Yeah.
Even though there's jeepneys you can ride, but they choose to like
But
they choose to like buy a car.
yeah.
So that's the main cause of our traffic. One of the main cause of our traffic. And the roads also. There's not a lot of roads, but there's a lot going for the constructions, like the bypasses,
Yeah.
the road, like anything, etc. So like, yeah, that's because of social pressure. That's after the pandemic
So you
happened.
you talked a, you after the you talked a lot about this part of it, that there is a social pressure to buy a car or like have your own mode of transportation and not go in a
Yeah,
jeepney. And you mentioned that it takes a long time to go from X to Y,
yeah,
because of all the traffic jams and the construction that's going on, I assume. All of those
yeah.
things like take a lot of time. And if you had a car, it's not going to save you any more time because you're still going to go through the same traffic. Am I right in saying that?
Yes, actually, you have a point, but the part of it is that if you compare it to the jeepney and the private car, like the jeepney stops from different places, and at the same time, the car is like you can go around. I
Yeah.
mean, you can go to like shortcuts and stuff.
So
Like,
just for the sake of our viewers, I want to show you what a jeepney looks like. So this is what Maynard showed me. This is kind of an old style jeepney,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
But this is not what most people drive in today, because when you see something like this colorful in Philippines, don't get into this jeepney, folks, because this is the old jeepney is going to like bust your ass as you take you there. So instead, jump into a new jeepney, which kind of looks like which kind of looks like this. I'm going to share my screen. Like these ones, these yellow ones you see, like these
yeah,
are kind of the new kind of jeepneys that are there. So
yeah,
don't take
yeah.
the colorful one. Don't fall into a tourist trap, I think it might be called. Maynard, are jeepneys still as crowded as this?
No, no, that's just a, I don't know. That's the very old tradition.
Okay, so
There's law.
thankfully they're not as
Yeah,
as crowded as that. I was going to ask you that question, because in India, like in back in like when I was growing up, right? Like I would.
there's a lot of there
The
like that.
buses were like that, like you had to like
So
pack yourself into it, and it was crazy. It's crazy. You'd hang from the door, and like you had to push inside like hard to
yeah,
like get in, So
that's a bit
so
dangerous.
yes, that's cool. All right, so coming back to cars, talked about. I think one thing that's coming out from what you're saying, Maynard, is that there is a big difference between the really rich people and then the average people. I think that's what you're talking about. And this in
Yeah,
this
yeah,
car
yeah,
versus jeepney situation, this is
yeah.
one thing I hear from you is that life is very, very, even though life is cheap, but life is really hard
Yes,
for the average person. But then there's a bunch of people who are very rich, who's you said some people like are paying $6,000 for one of the best schools in
yes.
Philippines, right? And so tell me a little more about like who are the rich people and who are the average people? Like, are there a lot of rich people? Is there yeah. I
So
think
basically,
let me ask you this: like, when I say rich people, like, is this like old money, or is there a lot of new money now coming up?
yeah, we have both actually. So like the rich people, let's dig in first into the old money one. So there's the old money one where they lived from the province. They were from the province. They went here in Davao, but from the from they were from where they lived, there they have 10 hectares of lands. They have farms. They have
Can I
they
ask
have
you? Can I
this
stop you here and can you explain to our viewers what do you mean by province? What is the meaning
province
of province?
is so
Like
province.
outskirt,
Yeah, it's province is like more like not a city, like not a like outside Davao City where it's not a city. It's still a
right?
municipality. Like
Yeah, yeah,
there's still no mayors and stuff.
yeah.
Then it's like more of, it's not a, there's no buildings like that. I mean there are some, but not that, like, what do you call this? Like, you know, level up like the Davao City, like the infrastructures. It's not that
Not there.
a lot there.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
those people
So
are the rich people according to you.
come again.
So those people are the rich people according to you, who live in the
For the
province.
old money, because
I
they have
see.
a lot of, like, like, what do you call this, like lands, like from
Yeah,
their grandparents.
yeah.
There's a lot of
So,
things.
so let me ask you this: like, how did they land up with so much land? What is the
uh
history of Philippines? Tell me a little bit about the history of Philippines.
so
Like ancient, like to like middle years to like today. Yeah.
before, I have this grandfather of mine. He went to the place called Makilala. he
Uh-huh.
is he is the first person who went there, and like in a certain place in the center. Then he said, you just have to point your mouth in that place, and you get to have that land. Like he will say that, that's mine, that's mine.
Yeah.
So like basically that, so if you're the first person who went to that land, you get to have that land.
Yeah.
So then after that, you get to barter with land to other people. Like you can change exchange using rice,
Yeah.
using coffee.
Yeah.
So then you can buy that. So if you stay in that place, and then after a few years where there's already a government, you can put a title in the land. Like
Yeah.
you can, so you can have it in your name. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's basically how they get the land there in the provinces. So like
Yeah.
who is the if who is the first person who goes in that land, that's yours. So
I
yeah,
see.
that's it.
But
So I okay.
go ahead.
I mean like I would have transition to the new, the rich,
Yeah.
new money rich. Do you
Go
want me
ahead.
to
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
go
No,
to
go ahead.
the
Tell me. Yeah.
so for the new rich right now, so like mostly there are politicians. That's the rich ones here in Davao City. The politicians, the businessmans, the contractors. That's the new rich people here. Like mostly they're studying in Ateneo where I also study. So, it's kind of hard where you compare yourself to them. Like how I wish I have that kind of life. How I
Yeah.
wish I have that kind of like
Yeah.
father who provides like, like hard works, like
Yeah.
have a business. How I wish I have a business so that I can provide for myself like that. So like, it's kind of draining. That's why, like, even though I didn't I haven't still got my license, I still I work on myself because I have this goal that before 30 I want to have a stable life. Sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it.
So let me ask you this: like, at what age do typically young people move out of their parents' home?
That's a good question. Though here in the Philippines, there's nothing like that. Like it doesn't exist. Like my brother is already 25, still here in the house.
Yeah.
There's no option of us living. There's no forcing of us living outside the house. Like, I mean, I heard in the US, like, if you're 18, you have to find a job that
Yeah.
you need to
Yeah. Actually,
go.
sometimes, at least like with like traditional American families, they expect their kids to get out of the house when they're 18. But it's different, right? Like if you go to other parts of Asia, like India, like where I was
Yeah.
born, kids can stay till sometimes 23, 24 until they graduate and find a job. Sometimes they even stay after that until they
Yeah.
actually get married. So I think like my question to you is like, so if your brother got married, and like, he found a girl and decided to like
Yeah.
start a family, would he continue living in your house? Or would he choose to like move out at that time? And I suppose the answer to that is depends on what the financial situation is. But
Yes. Yes.
so is the financial situation the main driver of this, or is there also some other social norms of like, no, like you start a family, you go off and do your own thing. Like here in the United States, that is the expectation. So
Yeah. So actually, right now, in our generation, like the lower ones, so we actually want to move out already, but the one main reason is the financial. So I mean, I think everyone thinks the same as me. Like I've heard a lot of my friends like they want to get out because the family is so very toxic. That's the one
yeah,
reason also that's why kids leave earlier because the family is so toxic. Then they want to live in their own, they want to be independent. They want to more like uh get the thought where like they want to be an American also. They want to get
yeah,
that kind of,
yeah,
culture.
yeah,
They more like we are Americanized. I don't know if that's a word. So
That
yeah,
is a word for sure. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
we want,
That's a word across the world, Like everyone
yeah,
wants to be, especially young people, would
yeah,
love to
actually,
be Americanized, want to go to and I laugh here because if I say, oh, like everyone wants to, in India wants to go and eat at a McDonald's, it's supposed to be like a fancy meal. And like people here in America will laugh at that and say, like that's the worst meal
yeah,
you can score in like America after possibly a Taco Bell. So so
yeah.
so so anyway, so go carry on. Yeah. So,
So yeah, that's basically one of the reasons. And yeah, you're right. Like after marriage, you should, I think, get out of the house already because
yeah.
that that's
I don't think
somehow,
so. I'm like I'm neutral about it. Like, hey, whatever works for everyone, right? Like,
yeah,
who am I to say
yeah,
what, right?
yeah.
But I think
Actually,
what I'm trying to like explore is like what is the social norm, acceptable social norm in Philippines? And I think what you're saying is the acceptable social norm is like people should move out if they can afford to do it. Everyone would love to do it.
yes, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right? Am I right in saying that? Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. They
I think.
should move on.
Yeah. Go ahead.
But usually here, like, if you move out from your house, you should be close in your house so that you can take care also of your family.
Right.
That's that's the thing
That's
that
the thing.
they
So
usually
let me
do.
ask you this because you mentioned a lot of times about like toxicity
Yeah.
In Filipino families. Is that like you seem to say it like as if there's a lot of it? Is that
Yeah,
true?
actually.
And what is it? Is it drinking? What is it? Like what causes that? Is it the men? Is it what? Yeah, tell me a little more. Like why is it so prevalent if you say
I
it?
think uh I can give some examples like for the toxicity in the family. uh One of it is the parents is cheating. So the children doesn't want to stay anymore because it's draining us. Like it should be our safety net, but the feeling that your parents is cheating. So like, why would you do that? So like the students are like
In Philippines, there's a lot of like
yeah,
extramarital affairs and all
there's
of
a
that
lot.
going on.
There's a lot going on right now.
Yeah,
And then second is the what do you call this? How strict our parents gets when in terms of like getting outside the house, like you should be around you should be home by 8 p.m. or 6 p.m. You cannot go outside because our generation thinks like, I think, I don't want to judge, but I think in America you can just go out, like you have this kind of freedom, like even though you're in, like
yeah,
you're 18, you can go out. Like here
yeah.
in the Philippines, even though you're already a graduate student, and but if you're a girl, you cannot go out outside as long as you get married, like that. So like, I mean, not all, but most of that happens here in the Philippines. So yeah, that's why they want to live. They get to be they get to be terror to their family. They go outside even though not asking. So yeah, that's one of the
That's
reasons.
interesting. So, like, so how do people date in Philippines if you're not allowed to go out after 8 o'clock? But obviously, people are getting around, and people are getting married, and people are having babies. Not that those two things are
Yeah,
necessarily connected, but there's a growing population. People are getting to do what they do. So,
yes,
so you're so, and that's really interesting. Also, the other contradiction you're saying. So there's a lot of cheating going around at the
yes,
same time, it seems like there's a lot of conservative like views, like girls shouldn't go out after 8 o'clock. Explain
yeah,
to me like these two contradictions. Like so, obviously, like people are cheating. That means that men are. I assume most cheating is heterosexual cheating and not homosexual cheating. So men are
yeah.
obviously going out and making out with other women, and women are going out and making out with men. At the same time, there is this conservative thing also. Explain that to me a little bit.
So actually, yeah, it's kind of contradicting. I can tell. So like, dating happens here through chats, through calls. Like there's dating apps, of course.
Yeah.
There's Tinder, there's Bumble, there's a lot of that. So basically, we have this thing called micro cheating. So even
Micro
though,
cheating. So
yeah, my
So Filipino micro cheating. What is a Filipino micro cheating? Tell me a little
so
bit more.
micro cheating is like, even though if I have a girlfriend and if I have a girlfriend, but you're talking to another guy like through chats, that's already a sign of micro cheating.
Okay. Right.
So because you're going to develop eh, things with that person,
Yeah.
even though that's through chats, because most of the girls right now, you can just get them through chats. I don't
Hmm.
know, but for me, that's, I mean, I can get a girl just by chatting them in online.
Yeah.
Then if you meet in person for the first time, you can just kiss and stuff.
Hmm.
There's thing happening.
Yeah.
You know, that's how easy you can get here.
Yeah.
That's how, low
Well,
it
isn't
is.
Philippines like isn't Philippines predominantly Catholic or is it Christian?
I'm, I think more in Catholic side, but as a Catholic, I much enjoy myself to go in a Christian church. Even though I'm a Catholic, I go to
Yeah.
Christian church.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, that's it. But
So,
yeah, Roman Catholic.
like coming back to dating, right? Like, so if everyone's living in a house with like four other family members, um, like the obvious question comes, like you meet a girl, maybe on chat, on Tinder, whatever. Where do you go for a date?
Well, there's a lot of things you can go to the date. I
Tell me
go on
more.
a date.
Yeah.
So where I mean, date is you can the normal one, you can go to a restaurant, coffee
Yeah.
shops.
Yeah.
Normal, you can go there, then talk about each other.
Yeah.
Second one is
So
I
does the
tried
guy
it.
pay? Does the girl pay, or does like both pay?
Ooh, in the Philippines, mostly it's 50-50 because you're going to be judged if the girl will spend the 100%,
Mm.
but you're not going to be judged if the guy pays 100%. But here in the Philippines, girls is more likely got I is now independence. Like they don't want guys to be spending on them a lot. So they want, though there's girls also wants the guy should pay all, but independent girls right now, they want to 50-50 right now. So yeah, I don't know, there's different generations. So second one is uh night rides. Like you get to pick up the girl somewhere, then you go to the places here in Davao where there's views like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. You go in a
So
jeepney? You go in a jeepney?
no, no,
No, you
renting
have to get
car.
your car.
You cannot date in jeepney. You're going to be
Hey,
judged there.
man.
That's called PDA. So yeah.
So,
After
so you
that,
don't have a car. So, like, if you were to take a girl out for a date, what would you do? Would you rent a car? What would you do?
so
Borrow a car from a
on
friend?
though I have tried that. I borrowed also to my aunts, to my, but you know, here, if you truly love the person, you will never check their economical status, but you will see how hardworking he is,
Hmm.
how how uh how they want how uh
Potential, the
pers-
potential.
yeah, how persistent he is to get that kind of goal that he wants in his life. He has goals, he has like that. Though for my past girlfriend, I don't spoil her with that kind of richness. Like I don't want s- to spoil him. Like I need to pick you up in the car. Like
Yeah.
if you
So, did
if
you go
you
on a date? Did you go on a date in a jeepney?
yeah, I did.
There you go.
Like
See? So I was right. You did
yeah,
take her out in a
I
jeepney.
thought you were saying like dating inside the jeepney.
No.
Yeah. I-
Have people tried that? Have people
yeah,
tried like
yeah,
dating
actually.
and making out in a jeepney?
Yeah. There's a lot. Yeah, I mean, I'm not making out, just kisses, like smacks like that. So yeah.
Right.
So second is like the night rides.
Yeah.
Third is the bar.
Yeah.
You can just pick up the girl there that can do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically
So,
that's the common ones you
right. So
can
now,
do as
so,
dating.
so let me ask you another question. I'm interested in knowing, do people in Philippines have really big weddings? Are the weddings small, like with a small amount of family in a church, maybe a party afterwards, or do people spend a lot of money? Like from where I come from in India, like you got to have a big wedding, like
Okay.
hundreds of people,
So
feed everybody, and all of that. Like, what are weddings like in Philippines?
weddings here are simple actually. It depends on your budget.
Yeah.
So if you're that rich, you can spend like $10,000 per wedding. That though uh in in every weddings, the invited persons only are the family, like the parent side, like
Yeah.
the mother side and the father side. There's nothing big at all. Like
Yeah.
there's just a small. But if you want to get married earlier, that but you don't have a budget, you can just go to the lawyer or a judge. Like I
And
don't
just sign.
civil, yeah, civil marriage like
Yeah.
that. So yeah,
Is that a
it
lot? Is that an increasing thing of people getting civil marriages rather than
yeah, kind
the
of.
person
My
does that?
mom and dad has a civil marriage. Yeah, they're in a civil marriage. So that's like you want to secure that person already. That's
Yeah.
why you want to get married even though you don't have the money,
Right.
because you know since cheating is rampant here, you want to close that person already. That's why you can get civil.
Bunkers, man. Like the way you're saying it, like cheating is
Yeah, actually, that's
Okay. Wow. All
I'm
right.
so numb about that. Like you can just easily say that, like it's not that really a big deal right now for me. Like I don't know, it's
That's bonkers. All right. All
yeah.
right, man. Like, hey, you like people in extramarital affairs, head out to Philippines. That's your place. Uh, okay, tell me. So, love, marriage, babies, right? Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
so, um, are people having a lot of babies? Like people have big families in Philippines, or like
Mm.
nowadays? Like I'm sure back there people had big families, but what is it nowadays? Like what are families sizes like right now?
Actually, right now, family planning is really a thing right now here in the Philippines. Though I have friends here, like they actually don't want to have babies anymore.
Okay.
Like I always
I
ask
mean,
them, like,
it's hard, right? Like
yeah,
you're going to
actually,
spend like $500 or $1,000 to like just like live your life, and if your average income is less than that, how are you going to make it,
yeah.
right?
How are you gonna pay? I mean, in our generation, like now, they think a lot, like maturely right now. Like they think about the future. Like, why would you raise a children if you cannot afford it? Like
Yeah.
that's how people think right now. Like in our generation, but in the older ones, like yeah, they still have a family planning. Like more likely 2 to 4 babies.
Oh
And
wow,
I
four
think
is big. Two is
yeah,
okay. Yeah.
I think 4 is the max one. Mostly, I can see in my aunts, like the families from my friends, they only have 1, 2, or 3 like sons and daughters like that. So yeah, basically, the older generation is erased right now. Like there's no such thing as like 7 children. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
So,
that's
like, so if you have a baby, is what way does a government support families? Like, is there free education? Do you get free healthcare? Do you get like food benefits? What does the Philippines government provide its people in
for the
terms of
baby.
like support? Is there anything at all?
Nothing actually. There's no support from the government.
So the
Uh,
schools are all private schools, like from kindergarten onwards, everything is a private school.
Actually, we have public schools, but you know,
So
we still
that's the
pay.
government's providing public schools. Are they good?
Yeah, yeah, I think that's good. But you still need to pay tuitions, even though it's a public school
How much
here in the
tuition do you have to
Philippines.
pay for sending your child to a public school?
I tried being in a public school before, but it costs around like around $100, like that, for
100 pesos?
a
100 pesos or $100?
$100, $100.
$100. Okay, so it costs
Uh,
$100 to send your child to a school starting in
yeah,
kindergarten for every month or every year? What is that? Monthly?
I think every half of the year, every half of the
So
year.
every half of the
That's
year. So about
yeah,
20 about $20 a month in terms of like public
yeah,
school.
kind of.
Okay, that's not so bad.
Yeah, actually,
Is it good? Are the schools okay? Did you study in a public school?
yeah, I did. Actually, it's good in a sense, though not all public schools are good. Uh, there are also non-competitive public schools, but there's also competitive public schools where they really teach their students well. There are a lot of good teachers, but not all here in the Philippines. Like,
What is
you
the
just
teacher's salary in Philippines in a public school?
mm, public school, it's around $250 per month, around there.
Okay.
So it's not that a lot.
Yeah. Huh.
So they get underpaid a lot. Even the nurses here,
Yeah.
they're so
Let me
underpaid.
ask ChatGPT and see what ChatGPT says. What is the average salary for a teacher for a public school teacher in Philippines? Coming. It's coming.
So
I think it will say annually.
in the Philippines makes around 27,000 pesos per month on average. It's based on the most recent pay scale updates.
How much is that in USD?
Sure, so if
3,000.
we convert roughly
It's
27,000 Philippine pesos to USD, comes out to around $480 to $500 a month, depending on the current exchange rate.
Awesome. Thank you. I don't know why I'm being polite to ChatGPT, but like, but I am, you know. So anyway,
yeah.
so like $400 or $500 a month. All right.
It actually depends if you're a teacher who were like 10 years already in the school, or like 15 years already in the school. You
Yeah.
get that kind of salary.
Right.
But if you're that 5 years lower, like, you
Yeah.
get like $200 per month, like that.
So
So like,
let's say, so another thing I know, right? Like, what about healthcare? Like hospitals? Are hospitals all private hospitals, or do you have public hospitals also?
so we have publics and privates, but I think, as I heard from the news, they stopped also the budget here for healthcare. They stopped because our Philippine healthcare was once robbed. I think it was like this year, it's just this year that the Philippine healthcare was robbed. Like,
What do you mean robbed? Robbed by like by politicians?
I think not politicians. I'm not sure though. I forgot the news, but it's like billions got got away from the Philippine healthcare. That's why it stopped for now, the support from the healthcare. So yeah,
So let's say like, God forbid, but let's say you had an accident, right?
yeah, yeah,
Night. Walk me through what happens at that point of time.
yeah. So I tried before, like, getting admitted. So my mom works in in that in that hospital. So I went there. Though, since my mom is working there, I get my my fee in the hospital is free, but the
Oh,
medicines are not. So if I think if for the average person who so they get to pay mostly for their hospital bills. Like I can see people who is already outside the hospital waiting for their friends
The,
for their families who are inside. Like
yeah.
there's no more private rooms because if you want a private room, it will cost you a lot. So people will go to a more cheaper
Right.
rooms like
Yeah.
the public ones. So like it's kind of devastating here in the Philippines. Like
Is
so
the care
sad that.
good? Is the care good in a hospital, or is it really bad? Like again, from where I come from in India, like public hospitals are the place where you go to die, because
Yeah.
because it's so bad that like you, like I remember, like in India once, I ate somewhere really bad, and like I got cholera, right, and I was taken to a
Mm.
infectious infectious disease hospital, because because it's cholera, it's highly infectious. They won't even admit you
Yeah.
to the normal hospital. Even if you had all the money in the world, they have to send you to this thing, right? It was the
Mm.
worst hospital. There were freaking dogs like walking along the, yeah, along in the ward, like you couldn't go to
Damn.
the shitter. It was so bad, like literally, yeah, like if you go there, you go to die, right? So I just want to, like,
Mm.
are Philippines hospitals, public hospitals, like that, or are they like okay?
I mean, public hospitals here is kind of okay. Not
Yeah,
the one you
okay.
mentioned, but
Thank
there
you.
are private hospitals that
Yeah,
that's better.
yeah,
But it will
okay,
cost you a lot.
right.
So yeah,
That's good.
yeah,
Telling you, that was, I remember that time, man. I was like, wow,
yeah.
how did I manage to survive that one? So anyway, public schooling is there, public healthcare is there, but you do have to pay something for that, right?
Yes,
And so, like,
yes,
if I'm a young person, if I have a baby and children, then they go to study, they go to a public school, and you grow up, you try and get into a college. Does everybody in like, do people finish 12 years of education? Like, is that a standard, or do people drop out? What is literacy like in Philippines?
yeah. Actually, we're still practicing that kind of literacy. Like you need to graduate for a safety net. But
Yeah,
there's a lot of influencers right now
yeah,
that got dropped out. They always say that uh discarte is what you call where if you go to a business side like I don't I don't forgot how I forgot the English term of that, but or you get to pick if diploma or being a street smart person, like you get to go
yeah,
to business and stuff.
yeah.
So like some influencers are influencing people not to go to the college because it's kind of a waste of time,
Yeah,
but the ones who are conservative people, the ones like the family oriented ones, like the
yeah,
students,
yeah,
they will prefer to like graduate because that's our safety net,
yeah.
then so what we usually do is like build a business while you're studying. That's the main thing right now that every student wants.
Right.
So that's the literacy going on in the Philippines. Like you need to
But
graduate.
is there a lot of Uber, DoorDash,
Yeah,
uh,
actually, there's a
like
lot. There's a lot of
a lot of gig jobs are there, right?
yeah, like but if you take that kind of job like as a student,
Yeah,
more likely you're getting judged. You're going to be judged by a lot of people. Like,
right.
damn, he's a driver. He's a like that.
Yeah,
There's
yeah, yeah.
social pressure.
Right,
I don't
right.
know. It sucks.
All right, we're at like our 60% of our interview thing. So I want to turn it over to you,
All
right?
right.
And this is a part of our section in our podcast where you say what's life like in, and so we did this part of what's life like in Philippines. But I'm pretty sure you would love to ask what's life like in the United States from the
Yeah.
view of a Filipino. So I'm here to answer the questions and answer anything that you have as a question. Like, ask me, like, yeah, go ahead. Your turn.
I mean, I I have a lot of knowledge from the US also, but I have things also I'm curious about.
Yeah.
So, you know, about the dating part, I've heard like women pays for the marriage. Is that true? Like,
Again, so I haven't dated in the United States, so I
okay,
have
sorry.
I whatever I say, like take it with a pinch of salt because I met my wife, my American wife in India, so like that's totally different. So so you're asking like, is it true that in America the women pay for the marriage? Is that what
Yes.
you're asking?
Yes, yeah.
I don't think so. I think it's kind of it's like you kind of discuss and figure it out and
Mm.
kind of like decide what you want to spend on it. Typically, I think couples kind of like figure out, hey, we want this wedding, we want this, and then they say, this is how much money we have, put it together, and then we decide that. I think
Mm.
again, like take everything I say with a pinch of salt because I haven't done it, so I don't know. Like I'm some of it I'm kind of talking from like what I've seen in like movies. I haven't met many people who actually got married. Like
Oh, yeah.
like I came to the United States like 10 years ago. I was already like 43, 44. So like all the people we know are already like kind of married and like oldish,
Oh, okay.
so
Yeah.
but I know from like some of the young people, it's like I think it's more like they discuss among themselves, this is the kind of marriage we want and this is what it's going to cost, and then they figure out how to do it. Sometimes many people have to take a stupidly take out credit or like take on debt for a marriage, which
Ooh, okay.
that's the worst thing to do is
Yeah, actually.
like for a like don't get into debt to get married,
No,
right? Like
no.
it's like because it's just one day and it's over and it's gone. Like better to have a small marriage and keep that money for a down payment for your house so that you can actually live in it for a few years and bring up a family than blow it up on a thing. So that's one thing about American marriage is a lot of people want to have this ideal marriage and they spend way beyond what they can afford. So yeah, does
Alright.
that answer that question? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So because my aunt always say, "You, MJ, get a
American girl.
American woman, American girl, because he will pay for your like that, like that." I was like,
Well, I mean, if you land the right American girl, maybe you'll be lucky, and
yeah,
she will marry you, and she'll pay for it and all of that.
yeah,
But
yeah,
that's
actually.
not what I've heard, so I don't know.
Yeah, so like, for that kind of question, like, I mean, here in the Philippines, annulment is really not that rampant. I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
well,
I mean
why
divorce.
why annul and get divorced when you can cheat around as much as you want, right?
Yeah. So like there, there in the US, like, is divorce like a normal thing there, like that?
Yeah, I think it's pretty normal. I would say 30-40% of most marriages would end up in divorce. I mean, I can ask my friend Mr. ChatGPT here. Um, 1 minute.
But how would a
One
student
minute. One
act?
minute.
Yeah, okay, sure. Okay.
What is the average divorce rate in the United States? So, but like, well, I think the question I'm asking is, out of 100 marriages, how many of them end up in divorce?
You're kind of getting mad to ChatGPT right now.
So 40 to 50% of all marriages end up in
Damn, that's a
divorce.
lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
right.
But here in the Philippines, divorce is not really practiced because it's a godly, I mean, marriage is a godly, thing. Like, it's
Man, come on, like,
a,
yeah, I mean, it is godly, but also like people are doing a lot of ungodly things in their marriages. So
yeah,
you have told
yeah.
me. So I'm like, there's a lot of cheating around in marriages. So I mean, yeah,
I mean, I support divorce actually. I really like. the thing. Like
Is that
I
what young people think now? But yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I
Well,
actually even
let's
asked.
go ahead.
Actually even told my mom, like, you can go divorce dad,
Yeah,
but this kind of thing, like, you want the family to be intact, like, for the sake, even though you're getting cheated, but
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
want the family to get intact because somehow you're going to be judged with other people, like,
Right, right. I think
their
that's
family
very
is broken.
common, Maynard. That's really common, not just in Philippines, but anywhere across like Asia. There's a
Mhm.
strong thing about like, hey, you have to stay together
Yes,
for the sake of kids or whatever it is, even though there's
yes,
a lot
yes,
of cheating
yes.
going around and all that. So yeah, one more question about more questions about the United States that you have.
uh how how like the transportation there in the America, like, how does it work,
Yeah,
like,
well,
compared
that's a
to
great
ours?
question. That's a great question. So
Yeah.
so one thing about United States, which is different from Philippines, is that we are mostly like a large contiguous landmass, right? Leaving out Hawaii and leaving out Puerto Rico and some other stuff. We're generally like, for the vast majority, we are all living in this one big continent. Even Alaska is not contiguous, but you can reach Alaska via Canada. So
Okay.
the thing about the United States is that the distances are huge,
Okay.
right?
Yeah,
So
actually.
the cities are concentrated. So if you go to big cities like New York, San Francisco, so on and so forth, Chicago, they have somewhat well developed public transport systems, right?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so you can travel. Like last week, I was in New York. It was pretty okay. There was good transport. There were, the subway. It's
Is it
dirty,
traffic there?
really
Is it
dirty.
traffic
It's
there?
really old New York subway, but it works great. It's running all the time, and it's well organized, and it's fine, right? There are buses and all of that. I think still there's a lot of people um, have cars. There are not so many
Yeah,
bikes. I don't know if in Philippines if there are a lot of bikes around. Do people have a lot of bikes?
not really.
That's interesting.
They're so lazy to do that. Like, I mean, the part of it, because Philippines has mountains.
Right.
The elevations
Yeah.
get them so tiring, then
No, I'm saying
the
not bikes like not bicycles. I'm talking of
oh,
like
okay,
motorbikes. Motorbikes.
motorcycles. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people
Right.
who
There'll be
drive
more
motor.
motorcycles than cars, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
So there's not enough you'll rarely ever see a motorcycle in the United States. You'll mostly
Oh,
see cars, right? You'll see large SUVs,
okay.
right? And then you have like trucks and so on and so forth.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
you're in big cities, you'll see buses. But like I myself, I live in a rural area, so there is no transport in my like where I live. You
yeah.
cannot
Oh,
reach the main city if you don't
if you don't
have
have
your own
car.
car, right? Now, in our place, there is a special program where you can call the city office, and they have bought a bunch of electric cars. And if you tell them well in time, they will come and pick you up for free and drop you into town for free, right?
Oh,
But
damn.
yeah, but that's most people don't use that. It's mostly for people who can't afford to buy a car and all that. But like
Yeah, yeah,
most people can buy a car. Like at the worst case, you can buy a second-hand car. You'll
yeah,
get one for like $7,000-8,000 or something like that. And,
yeah,
and so you'll work that. Gas is about $3 a gallon. So I think a gallon is about 3 point something liters.
yeah, yeah.
It's about a dollar for a liter of. I don't know whether you sell in liters or gallons in Philippines.
Our It's per liter. It's per liter
Liter.
here.
What is the cost for a liter of petrol in Philippines?
Uh, roughly around $1,
$1.
but
Yeah, so it's
I
about the
think
same price. It's the same price here as there, right?
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, so you everybody needs a car. Without a car, really, you can't. At least as long as if you're not living in the city, you can't manage without a car. So
Oh, okay.
so yeah, you need
That's
a car,
yeah.
and then even like going from one city to another The cheapest way to get from one city to another is you would take a bus.
Mm.
So we have a service called Greyhound, and there are some others like that. Or you would take a train, but the train system is not very well developed for a modern nation like ours. We don't even have high-speed trains. Like China has more high-speed trains
Oh,
than
yeah, yeah,
we
yeah,
don't even
actually.
have a high-speed train. Our maximum, our trains can travel fast is like maybe 120 miles, 150 miles or
It was
something.
like it was like the bullet train, right? In the China bullet train, like
Right, right. Or Japan has bullet trains. Like we don't have any
uh,
bullet trains. Like this is the
yeah,
world's greatest nation, but it doesn't. Its trains all suck. And then if you wanted to, if you can't do that, you would take your car and you would drive to somewhere, right? So that's
okay.
typically for like if you're like driving 6 hours. Uh, the speeds are fast. You're typically driving at 70 miles,
Damn, that's
75,
far.
75 miles. So 75 miles is about 110 kilometers an hour or
Yeah, yeah,
something,
yeah.
right? So if you drive 5 hours, it's 500. You've covered 500 kilometers.
Damn, that's so far.
So
I mean,
so
I
it is
thought
fast. You can travel somewhere. So the highways are all like well developed and so on and so forth. So you can go really fast. But mostly like after 5 6 hours, people fly. And that's the most common way to go wherever you want to go.
yeah, it's much easier.
Yeah. So,
So I thought I
I
thought
would say it's
US
not.
is like
Go ahead. What?
so I thought US is like a walkable city. Like I mean, is
The
there
cities are like, say, New York, right? Like you could walk a couple of blocks and like go wherever you want, but
okay.
eventually you have to either get on a subway or get on a Uber or whatever it is and like get
Okay.
off there. All right, so we're kind of coming to the end of it. So tell us a little bit about politics. And the reason I wanted to really talk to someone in the Philippines recently is because I saw a TikTok where it looks like the president who's Duterte is is the president or the vice president is Duterte,
Yes, yes.
right? And then the president is from the Marcos family,
Yes, yes.
right?
Correct, correct.
And they're both having some kind of like struggle, and the Dutertes are close to the Chinese, or is it the
Yes.
other way around or something? Tell us a little bit about what's going on right now in Philippines, Filipino politics.
So okay, let's break it down a bit. So like uh before Marcos, the son of Ferdinand
Right?
Marcos, which is
Yeah.
Bongbong Marcos, and Sara Duterte is the
You
son
call
of
him Bong
I
Bong Marcos?
yes,
Bong.
Bongbong
So
Marcos.
Ferdinand Marcos, the one of the most corrupt uh,
Yes.
presidents of Philippines, was called
Yes.
Bong Bong Marcos. Why was he called Bong
I no
Bong?
no. Ferdinand Marcos is the father.
I see.
The son is Bongbong Marcos.
Oh, son is Bong Bong Marcos. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Okay.
So
So Bong Bong Marcos. Yeah.
yeah. So Sara Duterte is the vice president, which is the daughter of our former
Right.
Rodrigo Duterte
He
presidency.
died.
So
Right. He passed. Right.
is it? Did he? I don't know. I haven't got
I
the
don't know. I
news.
thought he
So
was sick sometime, and then he got really sick, and
I think did he die? No, no, he didn't die. He didn't
he's not
die.
dead. Okay. He's alive.
Okay,
All right.
so
All right.
so basically before they got that position into that position, I actually voted for Bongbong
Right.
because I support Sarah.
Yeah.
Sarah is our former mayor here in Davao City.
Sara
So
Duterte.
yes, Sara Duterte. Because from the past few years, I mean, there's the there's the killings. You cannot get rid of that issues from them. Like we heard a lot of like extrajudicial killings.
Yeah,
Like
that's what Rodrigo Duterte was known for. He was
yes.
just like apparently he wanted to clean up the crime in Philippines. So he just
Yes,
yeah,
actually.
which he did perhaps in some ways. Did he?
Yeah. So like
Okay.
here in Davao City, that's why Davao City is one of the safest place in the Philippines. Like you can just go outside like 3 a.m., 2 a.m. You can just run around, use your phone anywhere.
Yeah.
Like there's
No problem.
no any threats like that. When you
Yeah.
go to other cities here in the Philippines, you just have to be careful. Like everything, there's a threat. So like yeah, so I voted for Bongbong because of Sarah because they were a uni team.
Hmm.
Then this happened. Bongbong uh turned his back from Sarah. He fooled all of the Filipinos here in the Philippines. Like, he just used Sarah. But though Rodrigo Duterte uh told us already that if you vote for Bongbong Marcos, you will regret your decisions. But the thing that they are both a team, that's why we voted for him instead of the controversial enemy of Bongbong, which is Lenny Robredo. I think, have you heard of her?
No, no.
No, it's the former vice president where our generation wants her to win because of the platforms that he provides. But you know, for my perspective, I just don't want a a girl ruling the Philippines. I just want a because somehow the emotions can get into the things. So yeah, that's for my
That's
opinion
far
on
out,
it.
man. Come on. Like,
Yeah,
let's
sorry.
sorry to tell you this, but like India, right,
Yeah,
had a really awesome female prime minister. So in India, like prime ministers are the big ones, right?
yeah,
She was tough as nails. She won multiple wars, and while she ran India, she ran it like fucking like tough as
yeah,
nails. So I just want to like interrupt that
yeah,
here. That this is you're entitled to your opinion, but I have to tell you
yeah,
uh, that female leaders can be
yeah.
tough,
Okay.
and yeah,
Though,
it's not always
though I
emotional.
think,
Like you know what I mean.
though
Anyway,
I
go.
think this is the one like my parents imposed to my brain. That's why
Yeah,
I think like this. But my friends always tells me like like feminism and stuff like that.
yeah.
So like I'm getting that. So like I'm trying to be
That's okay.
to
No
think like that.
judgment from my side. I'm just providing
Yeah,
you facts. Okay, like you will make your own
yeah, yeah.
conclusions in your own time. Anyway, carry on. So okay, so
So
Sarah Duterte, you
so
don't want her there because she's a woman and you feel like she might not be
yeah.
the right leader.
So
Okay.
so after that, after the elections, Bongbong won.
Yeah.
So damn, everyone was fooled. He can't even say a word. Like if you ask him what if you ask him how old he is, he will just say, "I'm from Davao City."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
every question you ask him is out of the context.
Right.
There's no thing such as then from his time. There's a lot of ghost projects like the recent flooding here. There's a lot of floods here going on because there's a lot of projects for flood controls, but there's no signs
No.
of
No.
any
No actual flood
constructions.
control is happening. It's all
Yeah,
money. Corruption
it's
is
all
going
money.
on. Like
So there's
yeah.
this one person. She is Diskaya. She's named Diskaya. So he has 9 companies, 9 uh contractual companies. So he, I mean, contracting companies bids for the project.
So
So
I just want to tell you this before you say more,
okay,
and I want to make sure you're safe
oh
because
yeah,
this is a podcast. So
yeah,
don't
actually,
say things that you don't want to be publicly
all right,
acknowledged to you. So if this is where I'm just like letting you know,
yeah, yeah. I
don't
mean,
say things that pu- put you
yeah,
in danger. If you think you're like in America, you can even now say many things to anything, and nobody's going to
yeah,
come after you. But I just want to acknowledge that, like, please don't put yourself at risk.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Though this is very rampant now in the news. Like
Okay.
she is very.
If it's
There's a
already
lot
in the
of
public news, then it's a different matter. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
like it says that there are 9 companies, but 9 construction companies. He bids his own company. So like even
Yeah.
though whoever wins, he wins. She wins.
Yeah.
She wins entirely. And yeah, that's why people now hates her. But it sucks that she didn't even get into the jail. Like there's no justice at all. That's how government works here.
Yeah.
Even the congressman, they were corrupt.
Yeah.
There's one person who snitched all the corrupt congressmans in the hearing.
Yeah.
Then the how the administration right now is really fucked up. Like everyone wants the president to resign. The speaker Romualdez is one of the biggest corrupt here, based on the news. Like
Yeah.
he has helicopters, he has jet planes, he has like that. But you know, what is the salary of a congressman? What is the salary of like that? How
Yeah.
can you afford like that? So basically, that happened. So he resigned because I think last month there's a rally. I think if you saw it, there's a rally, like people throwing stones, people throwing like that. Like I think that's one of their prevention to
To
calm the
settle, to
people.
calm people down. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's to resign.
Right.
But
Right. Yeah.
they all gone to the different states. They went to different states. They went outside the Philippines to
That's awesome.
calm everything. So yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't know. Corruption is really rampant.
Really
Like
bad. Really bad.
if you give if you give money to the congressmans gives money to the mayors, the LGU.
Yeah.
It like from 3 million, it will go down to like 100,000. Like that's how fucked up it is. Like
Right, right. Well, that's kind of the story of many places in the world. I would say there's even corruption here in the United States of America. Um, Unfortunately, this is why we do this podcast. What's life like in? And then today's session was in
yeah,
Philippines, and like everywhere else, I know like there's corruption and all of that, but also life is good in some ways. I love those food stalls you showed me.
yeah,
The food looked awesome, I must say. And if
yeah,
I ever come down to Philippines, I'm going to hit one of those
yeah.
places
You should come
uh,
out here.
and get some stuff. And so, thank you, Maynard, for jumping in and first session of what's life like in. And this was great.
You've been listening to Planet Neighbors, where every voice brings our world a little closer. Follow us on Spotify or YouTube, or if you'd like to share your own story, message us on Instagram, TikTok, or on our website at www.planetneighbors.com. You might just be our next neighbor.